the Art Show Memorial Showmanship Award. Art Show was a performer who flew here in Cleveland for many years, lost his life as a motion picture stunt pilot in the first Top Gun movie. That particular award is given to one person or one team one time a year. That's our Black Tie Awards banquet at our winter convention in Las Vegas. Kirby Chambliss, 46 airplane around in the smallest loop in the sky. The airplane is bucking, shaking. It just does not want to do that. But don't do it for Kirby Chambliss. So in year 2022, Extravaganza in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. You might have heard about it. That award is the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship. Named after that great type of guy. And this guy, Kirby Chambliss, recipient of the Bill Barber Award for Showmanship, presented to him at Oshkosh in the year 2024. He is the reigning recipient of that as he shifts into reverse. Always a big smile on Kirby Chambliss. Now, he's going to be surrounded by his teammates in the Red Bull Air Force. That's our official sponsor. Skydivers, Aerobatic helicopters. Watch this. Kirby coming in. Metro Health has a rich legacy as Northeast Ohio's most experienced #1 adult trauma center. Metro Lifeline has played an essential role in the history of that. Thank you, Metro Lifeline, for your commitment and service to our community. A big round of applause, if you will, for our friends at Metro Lifeline. Standing by. Work on the back of the engine with a lot of engine room. Adjustments on that. A tremendous amount of knowledge is done before you even get in the airplane. Quite often then they will do tabletop exercises, and from there, spacing very carefully apart, you go up and start to hone your skills. The wingman trusts only the movement of the lead pilot.
Just tell me when you do, because I have to.
Direction,
and I'll take you.
Altitude for the team. And the wingman makes constant minute adjustments on the leader. So he did what Robert's going to do right here. Instead of trying to force the loop, he rolled right side up. That felt so good, he did another one. He got on the ground. Pretty certain on this occasion. As back in those days, the chief aerobatic instructor for the Cuban Air Force. Now, in respect to that, we continue to name that maneuver the Cuban 8 from that date. This, despite our strained relationship with the United States. Give it up for Ronald Johnson and the Cuban 8. Team leader, but if you were a fighter pilot, you had somebody out from the person being chased to the person chasing the enemy. It combines a lot of changes, change of altitude, change of heading, change of speed, Just carry on, in up in the same altitude. So Robert coming in from your left, Robert Johnson will execute a precision 4-point roll, stopping the airplane every 90 degrees of rotation. First we'll see the nose come up. It goes to 9-inch flight. That's there. I'd say the approach, I'm just guessing, around 120 miles an hour or so. In addition to being a miserly engine prop combination, you can hear or not hear. It's a very quiet aircraft for the area surrounding a military base. You hear the props change pitch. our circles. Assembly line back in 1948. It has great performance as well. Famous name in Annals of Lockheed as a test pilot. Inverted pass. Now from the high-speed pass, from the series of rolls, hesitation rolls, and the full inverted flight is going to be coming around, slowing the aircraft up each time, and then outfitted with armament during a conflict with a neighboring country. Low and slow. Get a load of this in your eyes, and your cameras, and your telephone. So effective was the aircraft that the last T-33 was retired from service in the Bolivian Air Force as few as years ago as 2017. Precision 4-point. Everything agrees on. There's also an act up in Canada a long time ago in the 70s chasing the test program on 47-800.
Film and television production, flying hundreds of productions. He's also flown various other capacities, such as flying for mountainous terrain and offshore support. Also flown for test programs at NASA, Blue Origin, and Lockheed Martin. He was an aerial coordinator for several aviation projects that broke world records like Felix Baumgartner. He helped coordinate all the aviation flying around Felix when they jumped out of the balloon at over 100,000 feet. There he is, getting upside down, doing what he loves. Woo! He's also been awarded the Medal of Valor for rescuing 2 flight crew members from a burning helicopter. Back in the day, he is a true hero right here. In addition to flying air shows and doing movie work, he flies the UH-60 Blackhawk on firefighting contracts all over the western United States. Yeah, here at Fitzgerald last night, we went to the Guardians game, we were checking out some baseball. Super fun. He was telling us stories, hanging out with Paul Stanley one day, playing guitar. And yeah, he's a jack of all trades and a master of this aircraft right here, the BO-105 helicopter. Due to its titanium rotor head, it can withstand up to, I think it's 3 Gs, and he only pulls about 2 Gs, which is twice the weight of your own body. So he's pulling twice of his body weight as he gets upside down in these moves right here. Nice one, Aaron. Yeah. He is a real American hero. He's my hero. He takes us through rides in the sky. Hey, Aaron, can I get right over Show Center? About 1,200 feet right over here. And he's like, right here? Perfect, buddy. Oh, yeah. And now he's just getting upside down. He loves this stuff. Oh, my gosh. You should hear him talking about it. Yeah, I love it. And by the way, Regular Air Force will be at the autograph tent today at 2:30. So, yeah, if you get a chance, come by and say hello. Hug a helicopter pilot, Aaron Fitzgerald. He's a hugger.
You want to go hug a pilot?
And here he is climbing up. And this move right here, I've been inside when he does that whippy flip right there. And that one kind of grabs you by the boo-boo. And that one, get your stomach going. Doing a front flip and a half twist. I'm getting those off a diving board into a swimming pool, but in a helicopter where you're just a passenger holding on to the seatbelt. Oh man, it gets exciting.
Yeah, he's going all the way upside down.
Fun points of reference. Here he is, taking a bow. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Aaron Fitzgerald. Prestigious racing circuit of Edge 540 aircraft or Extra 300 aircraft, the top aircraft in aerobatic piloting. He's in the Aerobatic Hall of Fame. His daughter shreds in a wind tunnel. Carly, you should see her. She can do those tricks right there in a wind tunnel. And he's just doing snap rolls right there. Aiming at the ground. Pull up, Kirby, pull up! How many hours he's flown. He's probably flown like 5 hours just today. Watch out for that KC 185 up there, buddy. His wingsuit. Amy here, myself, Jeff Provenzano, the rest of our team, Sean McCormick, John DeVore, Mike Swanson, Mike Brewer, we all flew just tracking alongside of him. To pull the amount of G-forces that Kirby pulls. He's not pulling 2 Gs up there, he's pulling more like 10.
As a number of things, it reduces the maintenance cost on the older or antique gauges, provides more situational awareness for the pilots aboard this tanker. delivers to them what's really important. Mission control data, real-time intelligence. KC-135s also have a dual ring capability. They have probes that come out from each wing area.
From the left, the Super Hornet square loop.
Flying the Aerobatic Twin Beach at air shows around the country. As you watch the airplane come in, Mr. Mulligan had a short 32. Air shows for over 30 years for the Commemorative Air Force and other museums and private collectors. Air Force and Chairman of the Safety Committee for the International Council of Airshows as well. So you're seeing what we saw back in 1935, 90 years ago, when speed was king. Men and women in the world were not military pilots. They were, in fact, pilots who were racing aircraft over the sides. And you get ready to build
traveled 11.5 miles and was in free fall for over 6.5 minutes. Watch as our first jumper on a star track brings it in with the Ohio flag, making minor corrections with his target. Brings it over the target and shuts it down for a beautiful dead center landing. Or under parachute. Watch as this jumper brings it in, making more minor corrections. As he makes these minor corrections, he keeps a close eye on the target. As he brings it over the target for a target area landing, make some noise! Now, as you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation. A traffic jam in the sky. They must gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches into the target area. This is accomplished by pulling down on the front part of the parachute and spiraling at speeds of over 60 miles per hour. This allows the jumper to set up a traffic pattern just like you might see aircraft at a busy airport. If you think jumping out of a plane is enough excitement for anyone, but for some, that is not enough. Look to your left as our first jumper on his 84 square foot parachute can manage slow flight to stay in the air or travel with other parachutes. But he will perform a 270-degree rotation, hitting speeds over 100 miles per hour. At 1,000 feet, these jumpers do what is called a wind penetration check, checking their speed and distance across the ground. They then fly downwind legs and into a small black dot for a beautiful dead center landing. Not to be outdone by our team leader, who brings it over the target once again and shuts it down for another dead center landing. It takes a great deal of concentration to land dead center on the target. These jumpers keep close eyes on the windsock located in the target area. Watch as our final jumper brings it over the target. Keeping a close eye, gauging his speed and distance. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for a final dead center landing. Today, your Army recruiters are at the air show. Feel free to stop by the Army recruiting tent, where Golden Knights will be there to sign autographs and step forward and pack our parachutes with us and ask any questions you may have on free fall parachuting or opportunities available to you in today's modern Army. Feel free to stop by and talk to each of the team members. Unlike the military jet teams, the United States Army parachute team is comprised mostly of non-commissioned officers. The 89 men and women of the Golden Knights come from various jobs throughout the Army to spend 3 years at one of our 5 sections on the team. Our administrative support section contains the Office of the Command, Operations, Logistics, Parachute Maintenance, and Media Relations. Our aviation section flies and maintains our 2 C-147 jump aircraft and our 3 UV-18 Viking Twin Otters. The United States Army Parachute Team was formed in 1959 at the home of the airborne, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. At that time, the team consisted of 19 original members, each elected to assist in the development of modern parachuting techniques, to provide world-class competition parachutists, and to perform live aerial demonstrations in support of Army public relations and recruiting. In 1961, we were designated the Army's official aerial demonstration unit, and 1 year later, we adopted our nickname, the Golden Knights. As the last of the jumpers removed their equipment and donned the distinctive maroon beret of today's modern paratrooper, I would like to introduce the team. Performing the difficult duties of ground control from Moab, Utah. She is an airborne combat medic with 1,200 free-fall parachute jumps. Specialist Michaela Monier. Performing the dynamic wingsuit maneuver from Reading, Pennsylvania. He is an airborne wheeled vehicle mechanic with 1,752 free-fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Tyler Becker. performing the technical task of videographer from Miami, Florida. He is an airborne ranger with 4,600 free fall parachute jumps. Staff Sergeant Dan Gerlach. And now for the jumpers. From Los Angeles, California, he is an airborne infantryman with 1,652 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Rafael Torres. From Bangor, Maine, he is an airborne career counselor with 1,128 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Joshua Evans. From Sanford, North Carolina, he is an airborne combat medic with 4,652 free fall parachute jumps. Staff Sergeant John Pemberton. From Dallas, Texas, he is an airborne infantryman with 1,752 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Griffin Mueller. From San Diego, California, he is an airborne infantryman with 4,552 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Dan Osario. From Yuma, Arizona, he is an airborne parachute maintenance technician with 1,656 free fall parachute jumps. Staff Sergeant Nicholas Orozco. And leading the Golden Knights in free fall, the team leader of the Gold Demonstration Team from Makakilo, Hawaii. He is an airborne military police with 1,852 free fall parachute jumps. Sergeant First Class Justin Brenner. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present the Gold Demonstration Team for the 2025 Air Show season. All members of your United States Army Parachute Team, the Golden Knights. This concludes our performance for the day. And on behalf of the entire team, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being such a warm and receptive airborne audience. In closing, I leave you with this final thought. In the future, may all your days be prosperous and your nights golden.
All right, Cleveland, the U.S. Army Golden Knights. Oh, Cleveland loves the Golden Knights. Thank you for a great performance. They will be back tomorrow. All you great spectators, we love you so much. You know the volunteers.
Open with a tribute to the greatest nation on earth, America's own, your 2025 United States Air Force Air Demonstration Squadron. From Dallas Air Force Base in Las Vegas, Nevada, led by Colonel Nathan Malafla, and known to all the world as the formation, loop. Your 2025 Thunderbirds in the inspirational Delta Burst.